Hello to everyone. Thank you all for joining me. My name is Shavi Zane, and this message that I'm coming on to do for you all is just a regular collective reading. Okay, just a message to see what the energy is. What do you all need to hear right now, and how can I bring guidance to you in regards to wherever you're at in your journey, on your journey. So first, I want to start off by giving thanks to all of you. I'm going to start off with the donations. For those of you who donated to my channel, I want to say thank you to Lay Marie. I appreciate you. Thank you to Curtis Skidmore. Thank you to Melina Reed. And thank you to A. Hiley. I appreciate all of you for your donations to my channel. And so this particular message is in regards to whatever you need to know. So I don't have a particular subject matter. I'm trying to bring the energy down just a little bit because things have been highly intense with the messages that have been coming through. It's been very exciting to know that we're taking our power back in the spiritual realm. And so now I want to come back to, level grounds here just to see what's going on and what knowledge do you need at this time, or what guidance can I bring to you to help you as you move forward in your journey. So let's see what is going on here. I'm just going to pull from this first, and then I'm going to pull from my cards here, see what the energy is. So we have the energy of the home front, okay? Community, okay? Your foundation, your security. So I feel like this is all about that foundation, establishing a solid foundation for yourself right now, something that's stable, that's immovable. Definitely security. Then you have here this energy of love. Like you have, I feel like this is this energy of connecting your heart with your security, like bringing a balance and merging the two. So being able to put your love into what you're creating, what you're building, the foundation that you're creating for yourself. So let's see. Okay. And then as you're doing this, it's also this energy of standing your ground, protecting yourself. And, in spite of opposition, it's like, you deserve this security. You deserve to move towards doing those things that you love in order to create your security. And so this is that energy of being brave and doing what's necessary to stand your ground and, pretty much having that motivation to build, that motivation to grow, and overcoming whatever challenges might come your way, whether it's people, places, or things. It's like you're going to do what's necessary to get where you need to go. So I feel like you're ready to move full speed ahead in creating a foundation for yourself, and one that comes from a space of love. So doing things that you love in order to create what you desire. So let me see. I'm going to look at one more from here, and then we're going to see what's coming out with the cards. Okay, so this is inspiration. Feeling passionate about something, excited about something, this flame, this spark, this zeal. So I feel like your creativity is high right now, and you have this inspiration. It's like a newly found inspiration that you have for whatever it is you're embarking on. So whether this is love, whether this is your financial security, whether this is a new business venture, I do strongly sense that there is good news that's coming in, or you might have received some good news or some sort of spark that has you feeling excited about embarking on something, and your heart is in it, and you're just ready to, overcome whatever opposition, whatever challenges come your way. It's like you are protecting yourself, and you're protecting whatever it is that you are moving towards or executing at this time. So let's see what's coming out. Ooh, that's a lot of cards, y'all. Try to get one at a time. So I'm just going to do it like this today because these cards are kind of hard to shuffle. So we have keep your heart open. So something about balancing out the energy, keeping your heart open to, I feel like different possibilities. Don't allow your heart to get closed off. Making sure that your heart is in whatever you do. You have here the Ace of Swords. This is, what is this? Triumphant success. So yes, in spite of being buried, you now rise and dust yourself off like Phoenix rising from the ashes. You possess that sword of truth and you use that sword to cut out all opposition. And this is also moving towards things successfully. Successfully, a new beginning and success, triumphant success. Patience and planning. So being patient with the process as you continue to forge ahead. There are, different seasons that you may have to go through as you build this security for yourself, whatever it is. But I do see you moving ahead successfully in doing that. You have here, leave the past behind. So some of you are having to walk away from the past, and that is actually an act of self-love when you're able to walk away from people, places, and things that does not serve you in your forward movement, or that's not in alignment with what you envision for yourself. And so I do see this energy of having to walk away. And for some of you, you're having to go at it alone. But this journey is one of many different possibilities that's ahead of you. So I feel like many of you are ready to move, to forge ahead. You have here patience coming out again. So you already had patience and planning. So patience coming out again. So things are growing. Whatever seeds you have planted in the spiritual realm, or whatever seeds you have planted here in the physical realm, they are growing at this time. It's just necessary changes have to take place in order for it to manifest in its fullest, to its fullest potential. So continuing to move ahead and leaving the past behind is actually taking you towards whatever this is that you have been anticipating. You have here, see the bigger picture. So if you are concerned about walking away from the past, know that you possess the truth. You possess clarity. I feel like you've gained clarity in terms of why you need to move into a different direction, and making sure that you look at this from a higher perspective. Look at this through your spiritual eyes and not through your natural eyes. So when you see it from a spiritual perspective, you can see it from a much broader perspective. But if you look at it from the surface, then it's like this very narrow perception that you have of your circumstances, and it can feel like things are stagnant. It can feel like you might start to question why you made certain decisions, or you might be apprehensive about making certain decisions to walk away and to go into a different direction. But as long as you see it through your spiritual eyes and not through your natural eyes, then I feel like you're going to be able to forge ahead and be unapologetic about the decisions that you're making here. Then you have here, nothing will come of this situation. So I feel like if you're concerned, I'm going to clarify this card. I feel like if you're concerned that things may not pan out in regards to this, what is this? Light. Okay, nothing will come of this situation. I feel like this is in regards to whatever clarity you have. You're seeing something very clearly here. I feel like this is in regards to the past, because you do have keep your heart open. So for some of you, you might be walking away from people, places, or things, and it might be a temptation to close off your heart or to become guarded as a result of whatever you're needing to walk away from, for whatever reason that you have to walk away from the person, place, or thing. So you're wanting to keep your heart open because nothing will come of this situation. I feel like that whatever it is that you're leaving behind is done. And it has already played out its role in your life. Okay, so I feel like you've already learned what you needed to learn from that situation. And so I feel like it's just time to let it go, because you see it very clearly. You understand why you have to walk away, but you want to be careful in not becoming guarded or too defensive at this time. So move ahead, forge ahead. You have the waiting game. So it's a lot of energy about waiting and patience. So something is growing though, because as you can see, you have this tree here. Something is growing. Same thing for this card here. Okay, so be patient with the growth process, because I feel like you have planted some seeds in some good soil. And so it's just a matter of allowing, what you have projected out there into the universe to actually manifest into the physical. And so that can take time, but even more so than time is going to take for necessary changes to come. You're going to need to make certain adjustments, which I see that you're being called to do that in terms of leaving the past behind, seeing things from a higher perspective. You're going to have to make certain cutting certain people, places, and things out of your life based on the truth and clarity that you now have, seeing things very, very clearly. So seeing it from a broader perspective, it's like, okay, just being patient with the process and knowing that it is working out in your favor, but there have been necessary adjustments that had to happen in order to lay out the foundation here. In order to lay out the foundation. So yes, we do have emotional loss here. So I feel like this is part of what's being left behind, because remember, you have the card of keep your heart open. And so this person is like clutching their heart. So maybe the heart chakra, needing to continue to do work on your heart chakra, especially if you had changes concerning, like, let's say you had to walk away from certain friendships, certain relationships, maybe even certain career paths. It's this energy of, it can be painful. It might seem like things are moving slowly, and it will move more slowly if you're overly focused in on the losses. This is where walking away from the past is necessary, because it's bigger than just physically walking away from something or someone. It's emotionally allowing yourself to disconnect from the emotions that was associated with the past too, because if you carry the burden emotionally as you walk away, you might as well have stayed, because it's like you're replaying these things in your head. If you're in this energy of focusing in on the darkness and not turning around to see the light, and you're focusing in on all of the changes that have happened, then it's like you're putting that energy out there that is causing a stagnation in your forward movement, because it's showing that there's more work that needs to be done. And so it's like, okay, well, you're not quite ready to get what you've been asking for if you're overly focused on recreating the scenarios of the past, because the brain does not know how to differentiate those things that have hurt you in the past versus it happening right now in the present. So if you are in the present moment feeling this type of energy of emotional loss, and you're constantly focused in on the pain of the past and the changes that had to occur at that time in your life, any emotional losses, or things that you had to walk away from, then you're recreating the scenario over and over again and recreating the pain over and over again. And so it's almost like it's happening now, even though it might have happened a year ago, 6 months ago, 2 months ago, yesterday. Either way it goes, you want to keep walking, leaving the past behind and releasing all negativity. Because remember, your thoughts create things. And so if you're overly focused in on things that don't feel so good, then you are also creating things and attracting things to you that are a mirror reflection of what you feel internally, of what your dominant thoughts are. So you want to be very conscious of that. So let's see what else is coming out here. You have partnerships and alliances. So some of you may be moving towards new partnerships, walking away from old partnerships and creating new partnerships. So maybe for some of you, this is where the emotional losses come in at, because you might have had to walk away from an old friendship, an old business partnership, or an old relationship. And you might be focused in on that. You might be focused in on the pain. And this is where you need to look at it from a higher perspective. This is where you're being called to rise above the situation and see where it is benefiting you to walk away and how it was not benefiting you to stay. You have solitude here. Yeah. So now you're in this energy of just kind of going at things alone. Okay. Spending a lot more time alone, going into solitude. And this is where you're being called to balance out your emotions, because the water does stand for emotions. And so I feel like things are still kind of obscured. You can't fully see the way ahead just yet because this moon is kind of blocked out. So there's still something here that you can't quite see. So maybe in this energy of solitude, it feels like things are taking a long time. Okay, so you might have walked away from past relationships. For some of you, this is dealing with relationships, or whoever you had to walk away from. You might have walked away from a number of people, places, or things, and now you're in this energy of solitude and you feel like things are just taking too long for life to pick up the pace. You're feeling excited. You want to go out and explore. You want to create this foundation for yourself. You're ready to build. You have all of this passion within you, but it's like you're also being told not yet. And so it's that energy of, okay, this is the waiting game, patience, patience, patience. That's all we're seeing here. And so it's like, when is this going to manifest? When is my divine partnership going to come in? When am I going to get connected with my true soul family? When am I going to be able to embark on this career path, or this new idea, or this business venture that I desire? When? You know, it's that energy of when. But again, you have patience and planning. So while you're in this energy of allowing things to happen on your behalf, it's like planning, you know, keeping the vision, but also planning ahead. So whatever that looks like for you, you have release control. See, release control of the situation. So it's like you want to kind of control the narrative of how long it's taken for things to unfold for you. But you're being called to just surrender to the process and release control. Because the more you try to hold on and maintain control over the situation, it's like you're limiting the possibilities of how this thing can play out. So when you have the attitude of staying in the now, in this very moment, not living in the past and not living too far in the future, just staying in the now, practicing gratitude in the now, then it's this energy of you're saying, okay, I accept that there are infinite possibilities on how this thing can play out. So I will not put my own personal, hopefully you don't have a narrow vision on how things will unfold, but you don't want to put that at the forefront of, like, don't have expectations on how this thing is going to play out. Don't have expectations on when these people are going to come into your life, or when you're going to be able to make these moves, or how things are going to come into fruition. Just allow things to unfold naturally, and you'll find that things actually move much more, things flow more freely. And also, you'll find that the infinite possibilities, you don't cut off the possibilities of how things will flow or how things will happen. So that leaves you with many different options when you're not trying to control the narrative. So I feel like that's what you're being called to do. Release control of this situation. Throat chakra is here. So working on your throat chakra right now is very important. Maybe some changes in how you communicate. But I feel like this is less about how you communicate with those outside of yourself. For some of you, this is in regards to that, but I feel like this is more so in regards to how you communicate in terms of your thought process, because that is a form of communication. The thoughts that you project out into the universe is you communicating what you want to create, because thoughts create things. And so if your dominant thoughts is focused in on pain and the losses that you took, and, you know, oh, this is taking too long and I'm tired of waiting, then you're creating that energy. You're creating more of what you don't want. So in communication, working on your throat chakra is actually going to help you also, even with your thought process, and how you communicate, and what you're projecting out into the universe, and even how you pray, how you connect with the Most High, the way that you pray. Are you pleading? Are you asking for the same thing over and over again? Or are you just giving thanks in advance that it's already done? You know, I feel like there's no harm if you've already asked for it, to give thanks for it as often as you think about it. Okay, so it's like, rather than saying, can you please send me my divine partner, you know, and then tomorrow you're saying, oh, can you please send me my divine partner, then it's almost like you're saying you didn't believe that the prayer worked the first time. But I never pray, I never ask, I just give thanks in advance, you know. And that's just me with the expectation that as long as I'm in alignment and I'm projecting the right type of energy and I'm operating from a space of integrity, the relationship that I have with the Most High is that I will get it, because I'm found worthy to have it. And if I don't get it, then it means that I'm being rerouted to probably get something better than what I could ask myself. So it's like your communication needs to shift in your thought process and how you are praying. So I feel like that's what that's saying there. You also have material harvest. So things are growing. The harvest is growing. The seeds have been planted. And so it's just a matter of the right season for the harvest for you to reap the harvest. So material abundance. Some of you may be waiting on things to shift surrounding your finances. You're waiting for the right time to make moves. Some of you already have the money, but you're waiting on the right time to move towards building with whatever it is that you've been able to accumulate. But then there's others of you who are waiting. You're waiting for this financial abundance to grow. And so just like with any farmer, somebody that plants crops, they understand that when they plant them seeds, they want to make sure that the soil is right, but they also want to ensure that they also go in with the expectation that it's going to take some time. So they're not going in being impatient with the process. Instead, while they're waiting, they're nurturing the crop. So I feel like that's what you're being called to do with this card of patience and planning with these various seasons here in this card. While you are waiting for things to come into fruition, just know that there are going to be a couple of seasons. That doesn't mean literally. It just means that it's going to take some time. It's going to take some cycles for things to actually unfold here. And so while you're waiting, continue to nurture the seeds that you have planted. That also includes nurturing yourself, keeping yourself in alignment, so that as within, so without, whatever you're creating internally, you're actually able to attract to you externally. And so you still have some things that you can be doing right now, rather than, it's like watching clothes dry. Rather than watching them dry, why not go down the street to and get you a smoothie or something? Do something that's going to be less of a more that's going to distract you in a positive way, rather than being overly focused in on how long it's taking. So you have, look at the bigger picture. This is coming out, same type of card. You have see the bigger picture and look at the bigger picture. So you're really called to see this from a higher perspective, because it's like when you look at it from a spiritual perspective, then it's like, okay, I don't have it right this second, because maybe on the other side of this is going to be much more grand than what even I can ask for. So sometimes it's like the greater the sacrifice, the greater the reward. You're putting in a lot of time and waiting. I just heard some of you might be practicing celibacy. I know all about it. Hello. So it's like, okay, time has gone by and you're like, okay, well, where's my divine partner? But look at the bigger picture. The greater the sacrifice, the greater the reward. So it might be taking your divine partner some time to get themselves in alignment so that they're ready for you. So you don't want to rush the process, because if this person comes into your life prematurely, for those of you who are waiting on a partnership, if they come into your life prematurely before they've done the work to heal, then you could potentially have a relationship that is sabotaged prematurely, or you might self-sabotage the relationship. Somebody might do that because they wasn't ready for a divine partnership. Because in order to have a divine partnership, both people have to have stepped into their own divinity and done a lot of work to heal. So even though it seems like it's taken a long time, on the other side of that, there's a greater reward when you have two people that come together whole already. So it's like, look at it from a higher perspective. Now, if you're looking at this in terms of your financial security, then it's like, okay, it may not be in your possession just yet, your harvest, because maybe there's some things that you still need to work out on your end concerning lack mentality, or but security, something about lack mentality, feeling as if maybe you don't have enough. And if you receive a harvest in that energy, then there's a potential for self-sabotaging that as well, or overspending, or becoming so tight, holding it to you that it's like the more that you hold on to money because you fear not being able to attract more to you, the less you attract money to you. That's just how it works. So if you're blessed with the financial security to go and, let's say, to invest in certain areas of your business, you have a business venture that you want to embark on, and you're blessed with a certain amount of money, but you're so overly focused in on, well, I got to keep the number just like this in my account in order to feel emotionally, mentally secure, because if that drops by $2, I'm going to feel like I have $2 less, and it's going to be too hard for me to obtain this again. So then you're not able to invest in those areas of your business because you're overly focused in on a number. And so that means you're not in the energy of attracting abundance to you because you're still in this energy of lack mentality. So it's like the harvest you might be taking a while for that to come into fruition because you still need to work on lack mentality so that you can continue to attract harvest to you, and it flows. The energy is flowing. As you spend, you anticipate that you're going to receive it back. Not just receive it back, but you receive it back even tenfold, 2, 3, 4, 5, tenfold, okay? And so you want to make sure that you're in that energy of flowing, okay? As within, so without, and everything that you're receiving is a direct match of what you have created internally. So this is why you need to look at the bigger picture. That card has come out twice. So this is why things are kind of taking their time here, because there is some things that needs to be worked out internally for yourself and for those things that you desire to attract to you, people, places, or things, in order for it to be in alignment and for the foundation to be secure. So remember, we started off speaking on foundation. That was the first card the first one that came out in the booklet that I was looking at in terms of security. That's what you're concerned about, whether it's your relationships, your financial security, your business, whatever the case may be. You want it to be stable and solid and immovable. And so when you're building from something like that, when you're building something that's solid and immovable, you got to make sure that the foundation that is laid is right. And the foundation is laid based on what's going on with you internally first. Then you attract what you need to lay the foundation in the physical realm. So then you have here, push through any insecurity. So yeah, there might be some insecurities that could be holding this, that has this kind of moving a little bit slow, because it's like, okay, if you're feeling insecure because of the past, those past things that you had to walk away from, people, places, and things, and you took a lot of emotional losses and you felt a lot of pain, and it made you feel like you had to control everything. I have to be in control of the narrative of everything. Then it's like, all right, release the insecurity that you have based on your past experiences. This is why you have to release the negativity and don't be so focused in on the experiences that you dealt with in the past. Be a conscious thinker. Check yourself, check your thoughts. What are your dominant thoughts? What do your dominant thoughts make you? How do they make you feel? If your dominant thoughts makes you feel frustrated or anxious or overly focused in on materialism or what you don't have or what you want more of, then those thoughts are in direct opposition to what you probably envision, which you envision the perfect, whatever perfect looks like for you, the perfect companionship, the perfect career path, the perfect friendships, whatever that looks like. If you are focused in on the past, then you're only going to attract to you more of what the past looked like. Just a different body, a different vessel, different situation, but it feels the same. So this is why I feel like some adjustments are needed at this time. You have illumination, so a lot is coming out in terms of seeing things clearly. Ace of Swords, see the bigger picture, look at the bigger picture, and now you have illumination. So things are being shown to you and revealed to you in a way where it's like, once you see, you can't unsee. So I feel like you have clarity. You're just needing to get your balance back, because this was in reverse. You're needing to gain your balance back in terms of your emotional balance. And making sure that, again, yeah, look at this, it's at the bottom of the deck as well. So it's 2 times here. Balance is very important right now. So once you are internally balanced, then everything else is going to come into fruition. You have destiny here. So everything is happening in divine timing. It was destined for these shifts to occur in your life. It was destined for you to make these changes in your life. It was destined for you to move into this new season of your life. And so just get ready for, I feel like there's going to be some things that's going to happen, and it's going to be worth celebrating. Let me see. You have, yeah, look at this. A new romantic cycle begins. So for some of you, you're attracting love to you. A destined partnership is what you're attracting to you. And what's happening is things are taking their time to play out for you because you're needing to release the emotions that was attached to the past pain, past relationships, past scenarios that did not pan out. And it's like, okay, well, this has been taking a minute. I've been waiting for this a certain amount of time, but you got to make sure that you're balanced, because here you got the card of balance coming out twice, and look at that, that's the balance scales. So you want to make sure that you are in alignment so that you're not anticipating someone coming in to make up for those areas where you have not healed yourself. It's important to be whole before you attract your partner, and it's important for them to have the same energy. And so they're doing the work. They're going through changes to work on themselves and to find their own emotional balance. You're being called to do the same thing so that when y'all come together, it's reciprocity in a relationship. It's equal give and take. Nobody feels depleted. No one feels used. No one feels drained. You know, you're giving equally to the relationship, whatever that looks like for you. And then you have conclusions are within reach. So remember, I said you might not see things clearly, but yes, you will be able to see things clearly soon enough in divine time. And so they are within reach, which means it's not far away. So this is why you're needing to keep the energy leveled, because the moment that you start to drift back off and the scales become unbalanced again, then that's how much longer it's going to take for this person to come towards you, or this harvest, or whatever the case may be, because you're needing to keep the balance. So of course you're not going to be perfect every single day, but you want to know that your dominant energy, the dominant energy that you are projecting out into the universe, is that of balanced energy. And so, you know, you might have some hiccups along the way, and that's okay. But again, the dominant energy, what you are projecting most of the time, is what you're going to attract to you. So then you have passion ignited. So that's why I said it's a new beginning, some fire, some sparks, something that's going to have you feeling very passionate and excited. For some of you, things will be getting a little hot and heavy, okay, when you got this new romantic cycle that comes into your life. So it's going to be a new beginning in more ways than one, okay? I'm not going to say too much. You have a new start is coming. So you got a lot coming out about a new beginning here. A new start is coming, passion ignited, a lot of number ones coming out. So some of you may be seeing 1111 a lot. You have here change. So yeah, change is happening here for you. So, you know, the one thing that is for certain in life is change. And so it's that energy of just being prepared for whatever shifts need to occur in order for things to unfold. There's the card of flow. Remember, I've been saying go with the flow. Okay, do not resist the process. Just allow things to flow naturally. And so this is where you'll be able to see things clearly. Everything will be fully illuminated as long as you are allowing things to unfold naturally here. You got fulfillment of wishes. So these things that you have been praying for, they are coming in. So let me just take this one. Yeah, right off the top, partnerships and alliances. So for many of you, these are business partnerships, these are friendships, these are relationships that are coming into your life. This is material wealth and security that's coming into your life, but it is going to take patience. It's going to take for you to stay balanced internally and to make sure that what you're projecting out into the universe is in alignment with what you desire to attract to you. So let me just pull from this deck real quick, and I'm going to close out, y'all. You have aloneness coming out. So yes, for right now, for a time, you are being called to be in this energy of solitude and aloneness so that you can make sure that you are balanced. You have the Master, new vision, and the Fool. So yeah, taking that leap of faith towards a new beginning, starting fresh, brand new, turning away from the past and having faith as you take that leap of faith towards this new beginning, then you have here a new vision. So yes, new vision, seeing things from a higher perspective, being excited, and practicing that gratitude. But I feel like this is you looking up. This is you focusing in on rising into your divinity and just doing something that makes you feel alive again. And then you have the master. So you all possess a lot of wisdom. You possess a lot of understanding in terms of, life in general, on a spiritual level. I feel like you're also being called to get out and experience more. Get connected with nature. Make sure that you stay in alignment with nature, because it's very healing, and it also reminds you of the infinite possibilities that exist around you. And it's also, it keeps you energized. Okay, it keeps you energized, and you gain much wisdom, knowledge, and understanding when you connect with nature. Then you also have playfulness here at the bottom of the deck. So dancing, allowing that inner child to be free, being very transparent in your energy, not being concerned about how others look at you or how they perceive you, just being you, doing you, being happy and light and free. That's what you're being called to do during this time of waiting. Instead of just focusing in on how long it's taking, rise above it like the eagle and see that there's many possibilities on how this thing can unfold. And so rather than trying to control the narrative, just allow for things to play out exactly how they're going to play out. And it's going to happen. It's going to be in alignment with everything that you've been asking for, but it's going to happen in divine timing. You have here past lives. This is in the reverse. So I feel like this is those people from your past lives, or those people from your past in this lifetime who their time has already expired. Okay, you got the hourglass here. This came out in the reverse. Many of those people have already played out their role in your life. And so at this point, you're being called to make new connections. But in this moment, in this season, you're being called to be in solitude so that you can prepare yourself for those new connections. Okay, you have compromise here, so you'll have new people that come into your life you'll be able to balance each other out. There's control, but it's in the reverse. So release control right now. Do not try to control the narrative of things, because it will slow down the forward movement. And then you have mind here. So yeah, release those thoughts, any emotional thoughts that you're having in terms of insecurities or fear or lack mentality or, just anything from the past that could have caused you pain. Release those thoughts, get back out into nature, focus in, stay in the now, create a new vision for yourself that's in alignment with what you desire to attract to you. And this is the last card, and I'm closing out. We have the dream here. So some of you are daydreaming, and in this energy of nostalgia, just thinking, visualizing the partnership that you desire or the things that you desire. And some of you feel like it's out of your reach, but it's not. It's actually, conclusions are within reach, and that's what you saw in the other deck. And so just continue to create the vision, and it's going to come to pass as long as you're not pairing it with emotions that are low vibrational. So that's what I got for y'all. I love you. I hope this message was enlightening for you, to help you as you go along your journey. And if you want a private reading from me, feel free to email me. And for those of you who have been ordering my oils, I forgot to mention that in the beginning, thank you. It's been an overwhelming amount of support that I have received since I spoke about my hair oils and my body oils. I do make the herb infused oils, where it's different herbs like lavender, chamomile, black seed, all types of really good things, carrot oil. I have all the good stuff that's inside of my oils, and so it keeps your skin really nice and, looking plush and youthful, and it's good for growing out your hair, thickening your hair. And so if you want to order my oils, email me. If you want a private reading, email me, and I'll get back with you as soon as I can. I love you all, and I'll talk to you all next time.